So Trump said that immigrants do it naturally. Trump to let some banned workers return to U.S. farms. Trump literally said that the illegal immigrants are just naturally better at doing farm work. He literally said that. There's no beating around the bush on this. Trump literally said that we need to keep them here because Americans aren't picking up the jobs and they were naturally built for this. That's literally what Trump said. So no amnesty. No amnesty. I've repeatedly said no amnesty. I have made comments about very specific circumstances in which maybe amnesty could be applied, but at very, very specific circumstances. In general, remove 95% plus of the illegals. Remove 95% plus. Remove them. Remove them. There's a very... I leave that extra 5% because there have been some cases where I'm like, okay, maybe amnesty. But the vast majority, overwhelming majority, get them out. No one wants them here. That's what we voted you for, Trump. In a recent phone interview with CNBC, President Donald Trump acknowledged the critical role immigrant labor plays in sustaining U.S. agriculture. While reiterating that some undocumented farm workers could still face deportation, Trump said his administration is considering legal avenues for certain workers to return and fill jobs that American citizens have been reluctant to take. Efforts to recruit domestic labor, particularly from urban areas, have largely failed. He said Trump described immigrant workers as indispensable to farms' operations, praising their endurance and work ethic, saying they do it naturally and are very special people. He also quoted a farmer who claimed that physical hardship can be a matter of life or death for these workers. His comments underscored the administration's complex balancing act between immigration enforcement and the economic realities of the agricultural workforce. And I've long talked about this. No amnesty, no amnesty. And no amnesty, let the wages and costs settle where they should be. And that's the issue. We're not going to fix this overnight. And we do need to remove these illegals. What's going to happen in the immediate? Let me break it down. What happens in the immediate? So we deport all these illegals. Now we have a vacuum of all of these jobs, right? What's going to happen is that these farms are going to struggle, going to make do the best they can, try to hire who they can at whatever wage that they can, and when they realize that they're not paying people enough and no one's coming to work, they'll up how much they're paying. That's what should happen, at least. That's how we fix this. The way we fix this is you remove all the illegal, cheap labor, and you replace it with legal, more expensive labor. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck for the farms. It's gonna suck for markets. Food is gonna go up. Food prices will go up. But what people don't talk about is as we bring things back to America, as we give jobs back to Americans, start making things in America again, it will make prices go up. But you know what it also does? The people working those jobs will now make more money than the average minimum wage for a lot of these jobs. The people working the farms, they're not going to get paid minimum wage. No one's going to go work that for minimum wage. So those people will get paid a living wage, as Democrats like to say. And it'll fix a lot of issues. A lot of people complain about, oh, it's more expensive to do it here. Yeah, but that money's going to someone so that they can have a life here in America. So it's absolutely worth it. And Trump needs to drop this amnesty crap for farm workers. He's been on it, and it's stupid. None of it. None of that, Trump. None of it. Have none of it. Let's move on to this next immigration story. Within the same vein, kind of, immigration, how President Trump's illegal immigration crackdown is impacting high school football. So basically what this story is talking about Lyndon B. Johnson High School's football team and how a large portion of them are Hispanic, and it's 99% of the student body is Hispanic, actually. And now there are fears growing in this district, as well as places like California. A lot of people have been talking about how traffic has gone down substantively. But we have this story talking about how people aren't showing up to school anymore. They're not going to, these big games or anything like that. And I say good. Good. This just shows that illegals are in our schools and they're taking the space of people. I heard the other day that someone break it down. Think about this, guys. You're commuting to work every day in a large city that has just thousands, if not millions, of illegals. All of a sudden, those illegals stop going out because they're scared that they're going to get deported. Or, hey, let's say 5-10 years from now, we do deport all of them. The road's clear. Your drive to work is much easier. That 2-hour commute becomes an hour commute. It just cut your time in half. Think about how much time you're saving with that. The people that are here illegally aren't just taking up space. They're physically taking time away from the rest of us when you really break it down. Cut your commute time in half. 1 hour there, 1 hour back. That's 2 hours a day. How much is that a week? 14 hours a week. How much is that a month? Let's see. About 58 hours a month. How much is that a year? How much is that over 5 years? 10. They're physically taking hours and days off of your life simply by the sheer fact of being here. The sheer fact of them being here takes time off your life, makes things longer to do. Think about it wasn't that long ago that I was in school. Teachers complain about having 40-plus classrooms where they get paid not a livable wage. They don't get support in the classroom for all of the supplies and stuff that they have to buy, pencils and other things that kids constantly break. How many of those kids shouldn't even be here? How many educations are being impacted because classrooms are overstuffed with illegals? There's so many things that go into the immigration problem that you get rid of these illegals, so many things would get fixed. The dominoes of removing these illegals from the country is insane when you really and truly break it down how much they are taking from us. They are physically taking your life. They're taking your work. They're taking your education. They're taking everything from us. They're not doing it on purpose. They want all those things too. But they need to go and get that from where they came from. They don't need to come here and get it from us. We need that. We need it from we need it for our own people, our own children, our own friends. They can go back to their own country and make their country great. I've said it constantly. There's no reason for any other country in the world to not be as great as the United States. Every single country on this planet has the capability of being as great and as free as the United States. And that's not to say we're perfect, because we're not. But we're one of the best places to be in the world. And that's why we have such an immigration problem, because everyone wants to come here. I keep telling people, you guys want to come here because we're so great. Why don't you just make where you live great? That's what I would do. If I lived in one of these other countries, I'd be like, look at the United States. Why aren't we great like them? And then I would work towards that. Anyway, this is great. This is great. I want people to stop showing up. Just stop showing up. Self-deport. Just leave. Leave the country. Why are you here? We don't want you here. You'll be better off back home in your home country. You're going to lose jobs. They teach English as a second language. Those teachers will be useless. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that would happen with removing illegals. There's I'm sure there's a lot of bad that would happen too. But the long-term effects would be vastly beneficial.